Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you all. Welcome to the live stream. Hello, Angel. Hello, Arava. Hello, Amy. Hey, Sandra. Serena. You're all welcome. How has your day been? I hope you've had a wonderful day. Welcome to the stream. Woohoo! Hey, it's so good to have you all. Welcome, people. So just give me a second and let me set this up. Give me a second and let me set this. Today I gotta set it up. Just a second. Thank you all so much for coming. Thank you so much, and happy Tuesday to you. Just a second, I'm setting it up. Hey, all done. Welcome once again. I've set it up too for sure. Hey. Happy Tuesday. So today, briefly, we're going to look at mindful eating. So when we say mindful eating, what does it really mean? Because most of us, when we're ready to eat, it's not mindful. We're not mindful about the food that we're eating. We just go in, and I mean, it's mainly because most times we leave ourselves to be hungry, so we just go gobbling down the food. But today, I'm going to discuss like 6 ways that we can do mindful eating so that as we're eating, the weight will not be forming around the waist, but the weight will drop off as we eat. Literally, not literally, that yeah, we will not gain the weight around our waists, and that's the main thing. Hey, KJK, Sissy, how are you? Hey, that your makeup was now wow. I was enjoying it. The spider web. I was like, my Sissy, you are creative. God bless you, my dear. God bless you. It's so good to have you all in the stream. So I'm going to talk about the 6 points quickly. Then now we can talk. Welcome everybody. So the first thing, what we mean by mindful eating is that when you sit down to eat, I mean, we normally know that we should pray over our food. That's one mindful step. Just praying over the food and showing gratitude for the food that you have to eat is just one step. And then when you sit down to eat the food, how quickly you chew the food. So most of us, we eat so quick that, oh my goodness, as soon as the food enters the mouth, is within 1 minute we swallow it. When we do that, it's not the right thing to do. So the body doesn't get a chance to digest quickly, and it will begin to pile on or in places where we don't want it. It will begin to pile on, and that's what we don't want. So first thing I'm going to talk about is number one, chew a bit more. And so the question would be, oh, what this chewing business? Yeah. Most of us, we have to take our time. That's where mindful eating comes in. You are mindful. So for every mouthful, let's say if we're eating rice, for every mouthful of that rice, the question is, how many times should I chew before I swallow? Your saliva has your DNA. And when you swallow your food and it's not adequately masticated, that means that you don't chew it well and mix it with your saliva very well and coat the food with your DNA. When you swallow the food and it enters into your stomach bag, your stomach says, I do not know where this food is coming from because you haven't done the job of coding it with your DNA, which is found in the saliva. So most people, like a mouthful of rice, they just chew 3 times and then they swallow it. When you do that, you're going to cause indigestion. And once that starts, that is the beginning of the stomach not empty now at the right time. And so if the stomach doesn't empty out at the right time, then it will begin to ferment, one. And then after that fermentation, where you now hear some gases and some burping and all those things, then it will begin to leave the fats around the stomach area. Okay, I don't want to go into too much detail, but number one, chew your food a bit more. So for every mouthful, consciously, mindfully, chew at least. And this one, when I say to people, they're like, oh my goodness, I can't chew. But you have to count and chew slowly before you swallow that food. When you begin to do that, you'll be shocked. Like all the heartburns, all the indigestion and things that people go through will begin to stop. It will stop. Trust. Trust. All of us, we rush, myself included. But now I have to consciously say, no, this food, I have to chew it a bit more. I have to chew this food a bit more. Of course, if you're eating something like a swallow food, like somebody was eating it. So what about if you're eating swallow food? Yeah, if you're even eating swallow food, you have to keep it in your mouth a bit long. Keep it in the mouth a bit longer because swallow food, you can't chew swallow food. But at least keep it in your mouth for a few seconds before you swallow it. And it will begin to make a whole difference with your digestion. And this is what we call mindful eating. So for every mouthful, you should be chewing between 30 to 50 times. And so people say, but normally I don't have that time to sit down and eat. And I'm like, oh, but if you don't have that time to sit down and eat, then you're waiting for some trouble somewhere else. So that will lead us to the second question is that the second point is if you don't have the time, then do not sit down to it because anytime you sit down to it, you should set at least 20 to 30 minutes for each meal. So if you know that you can't set that time, it's not like the time that you're going to eat, then you're going to take your mobile phone or something. Then you're going to look for some serious trouble, like wahala later. People. So first thing, number one, chew your food a bit more. And because all of us have been eating so quickly, you now consciously have to say, okay, I'm not going to take my time and chew my food. Number two, set aside 20 to 30 minutes for the meal. Other than that, you're going to end up on some kind of something that will not help you to digest. I don't want to mention the name of those medications here. The antacids, and you have to end up on those things because if you miss the first step of the digestive process, Sandra, Sandra, I said, let's go. Yeah, if you miss the first step of the digestive process, which is chewing, then you're looking for trouble. So number one, chew more. Number two, set the time at least 20 to 30 minutes. So if you know you have only 5 minutes, do not sit down to eat because that is not classified as mindful eating. Mindful eating is when you finish eating, you should feel good. You should not finish eating and say, I want to sleep or I'm tired. You ate the food because you wanted energy. But most of us, by the time we finish eating, we are tired. It's only because we don't chew long enough. So number 2, set aside 20 to 30 minutes for each meal. Number 3, choose foods that are high in fiber. Okay, so this boils down to all 3 of them, because if you have the food that is high in fiber, then it means that you have to chew, because as for the fiber, you can't swallow it like that. So you will have to chew a bit longer. People, we have to chew a bit longer so that the food will be able to digest better and it will not leave the fat, especially around the midsection. The other time I was talking about the fact that the reason why, like most of us, we have the fat forms around the waist is that is our midsection and it doesn't get most of the exercise. So that's why it looks like, oh, it's only my. Somebody said to me today, said, only my stomach. That's where the fat doesn't want to shift. I said, yes, that's the part, because that's the, at least your hand, you can easily move your hand, you can easily move your legs. But around the midsection, unless you actually move, move your waist, which we normally don't do, then the fat will pile up in that area and it will give you that kuchi stomach. Ah. So number 1, chew more. Number 2, set aside good quality time, and that will be classified as mindful eating. Number 3, eat foods that are high in fiber. So that means that for every meal you want to add something like some stir fried, some cabbage, a lot of onions, and those kind of things. Food that is rich in fiber, high fiber foods. People, myself included, trust me, most times when I sit down, I now have to say, hey, take your time. Sometimes I'm eating so quickly, then I remember I'm chewing too fast. Then I slow down. Because if we don't, then along the way, the body will be crying because the body is not designed to eat so quickly. It's not designed because the teeth, the teeth is supposed to be chewing properly. The teeth, and then to mix it properly again with the saliva. Okay, so that is where the DNA is. So it will help with the digestion so that the food doesn't stay for long and then it will come out. Yes, people. Sandra, do you get it? Serena, quick is bad. Yes, Serena, quick is bad. But all of us, it's a habit, isn't it? And because we formed these habits for years, it takes, like, we have to retrain ourselves. We have to retrain ourselves to do the right thing by chewing a little bit more slowly, because it's not a joke. Like when you formed a habit for all your life and now you have to start doing the right thing, it's a little bit hard, but with a bit more discipline, we can all do it. We can do this, we can do this, we can do this. So that leads us to number are we on? So we've done the first one, chew more. Number 2, put time aside, 20 to 30 minutes. Number 3, eat foods that are rich in fiber. And when you have, like I said to people, when I come and I see your food, it should have more fiber than more carbs and more protein, okay? Because the fiber is what will help move it all along quickly so that it does not deposit the fat around the stomach area. So that leads us to the next point here. Fiber. So when we're talking about foods that are rich in fiber, we're looking at more veggies, more fruits, and more nuts. All of these are rich in fiber. And when you eat them the right way, slowly, then you feel even full, better. Number 4, Hey, which is what I've been talking about since last week, is drink more water. Drink more water throughout the day. Be having sips of water throughout the day. It's not like when you sit down to eat your food, there should be no water. But throughout the day, be having sips of water. Throughout the day, be having sips of water with a pinch of salt or with a fruit. That way, you see that the hunger goes down. So as for the water, watch the video that I talked about the benefits of drinking water and how just drinking water the right way can make you lose weight. And when we say drinking the water, we don't mean literally like drinking, but sipping the water. Sip the water throughout the day. Hey, A&L. Hey, baby, welcome. Yeah. So drinking sips of water throughout the day will ensure that you do not feel so hungry that you want to go and sit down and eat a whole bowl of rice and chicken. Yeah. So that rice and chicken, you should add a lot of vegetables to it, yeah, which will be rich in fiber. So that way it will help everything to go and move down quickly so that your food will be digested quickly. And then as the food is digested quickly, it will come out from the other side and your stomach will be like, happy. As soon as you feel bloated, just know that every time you finish eating, you feel bloated. It means that you did not chew adequately enough. You ate too quickly, and so now the stomach hasn't got the right like environment because you missed the first step of chewing very well. So and then the stomach has hydrochloric acid. So that hydrochloric acid is now finding it a little bit difficult to break it down quickly. So what number are we on, Sandra? What number are we on? Somebody type. What number are we on? People. Yes, Sandra. Hey, you are in the house. Well done. Yeah, number five. Number five. So when you're eating, use small plates. If you see Chinese people eating, you see they have small plates. Because when you take a very big plate, you're going to fill that plate and you're going to eat and then eat so quickly that you do not digest. You know? So number five, use smaller plates. Yeah. When the plate is small, how are you going to eat so quickly? How are you going to fill it up? You will not fill it up. So you can eat in, and I say, not like the small bowls, but not like to even eat, like some people say, oh, eat small, a lot of small. That is not the best of the best, but it will still be better. Yeah. So reduce your plate size. Once you reduce your plate size, you will reduce your portion size as well. Because remember, all of this ties down into beauty, isn't it? Because the more you're able to digest your food, the better you feel, and then the more energy you have. And the more energy you have, the more you know you can go do things, isn't it? So reduce your plate size. So instead of taking that big bowl and filling it up and eating it all, take a smaller bowl, and then that small bowl, when you finish it, say that, okay, at least for now, let me leave what I've eaten to digest. And then the last one, isn't it? I think I have a goodness point. Mindful eating. Mindful. When we are conscious about the food that we are eating, we just don't become like just eating and just eating. That is what causes the problems to start. But we need to be mindful, very, very mindful when we sit down to eat. when we sit down to eat, we should be mindful eating. So the last point, which is number 6, is turn off the TV when you're eating. You like myself until I started practicing mindful eating. Trust me, don't have anything that will disrupt you, anything that will disrupt your attention. That's why it's called mindful eating. Like when you're watching TV, you'll be shocked. You just be eating uncontrollably without thinking, because there might be something on the TV that might be, either a stimulating you to eat quickly, or your mind. When you sit down to it, it's a meditative time. In the Bible, it talks about how we should eat. But most of us are even walking when we're eating. Eating is a quiet time. That's the only time where the digestive juices will be secreted. And like when you're angry, or like, especially like on TV, most times there's bad things happening on TV. And if you're watching that TV and eating at the same time, trust me, I used to have a TV in my kitchen. Like when we're eating, we'll be watching TV. It's not the best, because it means that you're not eating mindfully. You're eating just for, you know, and that will bring you problems later. And the first problem that you see is the gaining of the weight around the stomach area. And that gaining of that, a lot of people think, oh, I don't know. Once the food is not digested quickly enough, it will begin to leave all these extra things around. It will build extra things, and then you begin to see it there, but still we do not put two and two together to say that, oh, this thing that is trying to form here, where is it coming from? Is it me doing it, or is it somebody else who is doing it to me? Yes, we do it all to ourselves. We do it all to ourselves. So we should be mindful when we're eating. So I'm just going to go over the points. Yeah, I said I was going to do 30 minutes. Yay! So we've got 5 minutes left. I did well. Mindful eating is important. But when you sit down to eat, you are mindful of the food that you're going to eat. First, show gratitude. Show gratitude for the food. And that's why we normally say a prayer. We say thank you for this meal. But nowadays, trust me, we don't, that one we don't even do nowadays. Oh, God have mercy on us. This speed life, the speeding of the life. So first thing that we talked about is that number one, chew more. So when you take like a mouthful of rice, chew between 20 to 30 times. You have to count, because we've all formed the habit of eating too quickly. So now for you to stop the habit, it will take another way. And the only way you can surmount that eating quickly is by counting. So you count in groups of 10 before you swallow. Number two, make sure that you set aside time, 20 to 30 minutes for each meal, so that you will be mindful. You will be mindful. Number three, eat more fiber, high fiber foods. I mean, even if the food like rice hasn't got a lot of fiber, unless you're eating brown rice. But if the white rice, then make sure you add a lot of vegetables that will help add fiber to it. And the fiber, like we can find them in veggies, in fruits, and in nuts. So add these to your meals, that it will make you feel full faster. So that once you have these fiber, it will help the food to digest quickly and come out from the other side once the minerals are all absorbed. Number four, we talked about the fact that drink or not drink, but have sips of water throughout the day. And when you sit down to eat your food, you should not be drinking the same time, because when you eat and you drink at the same time, the hydrochloric acid in the stomach will be diluted, and then now you have poor digestion, which will lead to heartburn, and whatever people say they have, yeah, other things will take place. And drinking water throughout the day, sipping water throughout the day will even ensure that you do not gain the weight around the stomach in the first place. Number five, use smaller plates. That means that when you put the food in a small place, you have to reduce your portion size anyway. So reduce. Domino man, Domino man, how are you? So wait, how are you? Good to see you. Wow, long time. Said Dome, long time. So yeah, yeah, make sure that your plate size is reduced. So all them big plates that we've been using, reduce the plate size. Number six. The six, and that's the last one. Turn off the TV. Don't have your mobile phone in your hand same time when you're eating, because you will get distracted and you will start eating too quickly than is necessary. And you know what it will lead to? It will lead to poor digestion, and then that poor digestion will lead to you building the fat around your midsection. Okay, this is just part of it, really. Mindful eating. I think 2 days ago I talked about the oils and stuff like that. So this is just a precare like an addition to it. Mindful eating. All of us, when we sit down, and especially like the walking and all that, we should not be walking when we're eating. And when you're not in a happy state, do not eat, because when you do that, you cause indigestion. And indigestion will lead to other complications. It will lead to other complications, and then we will start saying, oh, I'm not well, I'm not this, but we caused it ourselves. People, it's been a joy. Stay blessed. I'm just ending this session now, and I'm going to come back here because I just wanted this to be 30 minutes of mindful eating habits, and I'm going to come back. It all boils down to how you look, because when we talk about like hair and skin, it all boils down to how good you feel on the inside. And most times when there's bad digestion, it causes a lot of other problems. So thank you all for coming in. I'm just ending this section and I'll come back again. God bless you. Oh, stay tuned in and watch my other videos on how to lose stomach fat. I've got a series coming up. God bless you. Bye.